that's going on with that tertiary and primary and backup containment system that we have as well. So, again, we're monitoring stations where they get a monthly visit, and we are monitoring for any leak that goes on as well. So just to sort of separate, we have a containment system. I'm not sure of the reference to the retention description before. And that's all I had.
Okay. Any other comments going on?
I have one question. The substation you're referring to in Monroe, is that the one it's down, it's right across the parking right down in Monroe, is what's pretty close, that is the one.
That is
100
correct.
Rockland, like the one.
That is correct.
Okay.
I have a question as well. The power lines that are out there today, the transfer lines, what's the voltage in those and what's the height above the ground?
You have 3 transmission lines, one operating at 138 kV and 2 operating at 69 kV or 69,000 volts. They start in the Sugarloaf substation and head up toward the Middletown, what we call Shoemaker substation, located on Dawson Avenue. As far as heights, the structure that's closest to this parcel, that the lattice structure is about 90 feet in height. The structures that we would be proposing would be in the 80-foot range and below as we enter the substation.
Okay. Any other board questions?
Yeah, I got a couple. I did want to put some of these things on the record. The first thing is the people here have talked about alternative sites, but I haven't heard anything from Orange and Rockland, and I know I've asked that question before about alternative sites. When you were doing this, are there alternative sites that you have already planned in case this one was not approved?
We currently own this single parcel in the town of Goshen. As far as looking at alternate sites, we are not looking at alternate sites currently.
You're not looking at them, but do you have alternative sites?
Not currently, no.
Not currently. Okay. You talked, I believe, in one of our meetings about the revenue. The revenue from this would be $200,000 in taxes. Do you plan on going through any kind of reduction in taxes, like IDA or any of those types of things, so that the town, school, and so on and so forth would get a reduction in that $200,000?
No.
So, and that is a real figure. 200. That's what you figured.
That was a real figure calculated through our tax department that we submitted.
Based on the value.
That is correct.
Assessment, yeah.
That is correct. It's an estimated value.
I think for the public, about 70% of that for school, somewhere around 17% would be the town tax.
Are there any plans at any time in the future to expand this particular facility?
No.
So it's like 100%?
No.
There's no expansion?
Well, again, we proposed a conservation easement of 28 acres for the parcel in order to show that that this is a facility that we feel is sized for the future. Again, there is always growth in the system, but currently there's no plans to expand the station. We're putting in the station as a fully, full capacity facility right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm. Also, in one of our meetings, I talked about host benefits. And your response was that Orange and Rockland, and I guess Con Edison, never did any host benefits for a facility such as this or anything. Is that still your answer? They have never done a host benefit in any jurisdiction?
You know what, I would have to do a little more research, but the research I did conduct, I was not able to get someone that had experience with host benefits. So I would have to say I do not have any experience. If there's something that's gone on at Con Edison, it's nothing that I'm aware of, but I could do the research for you.
Right. Well, one of the things that I was specifically talking about was Mr. Rongo before mentioned about fires and potential fires. When you say a host benefit, I don't know whether the fire department is even geared up in order to be able to fight this particular type of fire. So when I talk about a host benefit, I'm not talking about just money that's going to come to. I'm talking about something specific that would actually be needed in order to accommodate this particular facility. And I just throw that out as one particular thing. There could be a laundry list of other things, including things that the town may have to have because of this facility, which certainly has some difficulties. And look at the people that are here tonight. They're concerned about it from their neighborhood. So if you could look into that. It's my understanding, I've been around here, as Mr. Lippman said, I've been around for a few number of years here. It's my understanding that utilities, I'll say as a general statement, have had host benefits for communities in the past.
In those terms,
Excuse me?
Did you say a few?
Well, I really don't, I'm getting old, Alan, so I don't remember, I don't have that instant recall that I once had.
I thought Alan founded it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, we certainly meet as a routine with any fire districts that have substations in their area, and that's something with a new substation we would certainly be meeting with, the Goshen Fire District to conduct any training, get them familiar with any proposed sites that we would conduct. And certainly if there was any special needs that were part of the fire district, we would certainly work with them the best we could.
Have there been any, is there any consideration of any type of scaled-down facility? In other words, not to this magnitude, if it could be scaled down or something else? Or
This is a pretty standard size substation for us to feed residential customers and certainly the commercial load in the area. This would be considered a pretty standard, what we call distribution substation. This is not a large switching station that you may find in Ramapo or some of our larger facilities where there's large transmission lines coming in and coming out. This is really a typical residential, what we call distribution substation, and so there wouldn't really be, for this application, a scaled-down version. It's 2 transformers, that's quite typical, a lineup of switchgear, and the transmission facilities that need to come in and out of it.
so if there is expansion in that area, building expansion, what do you do? I mean, if you're at capacity now, and you, what happens?
Well, certainly, we have in the past, to upgrade a substation, replace transformers.
Upgrade.
We're putting in, the largest transformers that we buy at this size. So I don't foresee an expansion of this facility. We might have to look at, for this facility, it's really as large of, for this application as we would put in. The 250 MVA transformers would really size the facility for the next 30 years.
Again?
I just have one more question. I'm glad Councilman Lyons brought up. The reason I brought up the Monroe site, what a wonderful location. It's like 17 of them. There's not a house within miles of the place. And I'm here for the people. That's their main concern. Now, is there other facilities in Orange County that I could go observe? I know, first with Monroe, I parked my car there for 30 years. So that's why George talked about an open site. That's why I'm hearing about the people I'd like to hear. And what a prime spot. You don't interfere with nobody there, and I think if we have the power, if there was no open site, I'd appreciate you looking for one. But my question is there another substation in Orange County that I could go out and look at to see if there are located in residential areas, or is this the first?
We have throughout our system, many substations that are in residential areas.
Okay, that's my question.
As you look in the Middletown area and you look at our Washington Heights substation, that's a substation that's in, a residential area. Our substation up in, in the Pine Bush vicinity, the Bullville substation is, in residential, is in across from residential homes.
Okay, so
So there's really a mixture of our facilities that are in both commercial and residential areas.
all right, that's what that is. Thank you.
The effects of some of what's been going on with those substations, is that part of the secret process? In other words, the history of what's happening in Pine Bush and all of those residential substations for people to study, for the engineers to study and so on.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion that we keep this public hearing open and continue it?
So move.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, folks.
That's it.
still a little waiting for you.
Read summarize.
Yeah, we like that on our desk. Go by Friday.